Jeff Cowan here from Jeff Cowan's Pro Talk. Thank you for watching and listening, and welcome back to my podcast entitled Right Service, Write Your Own Paycheck, The Path to Making Over $100,000 a year when writing service. Because at this very filming right now today, 20% of you out there writing service in the automotive industry are making at least $100,000 a year, meaning that 80% of you are not making $100,000 a year. And here's what I got to say about that. Come on, let's get on the ball. You want to know how to make $100,000? Well, you keep listening to this podcast, and here comes the hard part. Invest in my training products. My training products and these podcasts will show you how to get those kind of numbers. Now, if you're one of the people out there making $100,000 a year or more, keep listening, and you should too invest in my training products because I will show you how to even make more. Well, welcome back this week. I've got something fun to talk to you about. You know, I've just gone out on the road doing a whole series of both private and public workshops, and I got to tell you, this year's workshop is the best one I've ever produced in 31 years. The content is off the charts. The results are off the charts. The reaction from the attendees and participants are off the chart. I mean, I don't want to sit here and sound like I'm bragging, but I tell you, this thing is hot. Now, the reason I bring that up is because in doing these workshops, I've noticed something kind of unique here. I get what I'm getting ready to talk about here sometimes in the workshops, but I've seen an unprecedented level of what I'm getting ready to describe in today's podcast, and that's this. While I'm doing these workshops, I'm finding that there's a high amount of confusion on whether or not a service drive has processes, and if they do have processes, what those processes are, and if you do have them and they do know what they are, the next big thing I'm hearing is they don't know who to follow, which one of their leaders to follow, the business owner, the manager, the assistant manager. I mean, it's kind of all over the place. Now, let me just start out with this. The first thing is the question I just asked, and that is, do you have a process? I mean, let's not jack around with this, and if you had to sit there and think about it for 1 second and the answer is no, you don't have a process. And not having a process is insane. I mean, it is insane not to have one. Why? Because I have harped my whole entire career, the whole 31 years I've been in business, I have talked over and over and over and over about the value of processes. And I'm here to tell you right now, never in business, at this current time right now, never before in the history of business has process been more important than it is right now. The businesses out there that are cleaning up, I mean, the ones taking it home, the ones that are batting 1,000%, the ones out there that are knocking it out of the park, if you will. How about that for some metaphors, right? They have processes. Think about it, the places that you go to the most. Starbucks, why do you go there? Because they have a process. What's that process do? It delivers consistency. You know what you're getting before you go in because of a process. Same thing with any fast food restaurant, McDonald's, Burger King, Jack in the Box, In-N-Out, any of those, they have process. That's what attracts us to go. And we know what we're getting and exactly what we're paying, how fast it will be done, and the like. And if you want to go high-end, you know, places like Ruth Chris, Nordstrom's, Disneyland, the list goes on and on and on and on. The most successful businesses, Amazon, the most successful businesses, Apple, the most successful businesses that you do business with them and go back and continue to do business because they have processes. And why? Because those processes dictate what you're getting before you walk through the door. They deliver consistency. And so that is the thing that seems to drive people more to businesses than anything else. So not having a process is insane. Now, in the future, we will talk about processes and the right ones to have and that type of stuff. But right now, I just want to address the process, just having one yourself. Now, like I said, it's never been more important to have one. But if you do have one, do your people know what it is? I am stunned, and this is the reason that I'm talking about this week. I am stunned at the number of people I will get in front of a group, and I say, you know, I'm going to show you here today is a process that's award-winning. It will get you numbers. It's the best one out there, blah, 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 right? That's how I start my workshops. And then I ask them, how many of you right now have a process in your dealership and on your service drive? And you know, over half in the last groups I've been in front of, now there's not one or two groups, I'm talking the last 8 or 9 groups I've been in front of, over half the people do not raise their hand because they are not aware they have a process. And what's funny about that, sometimes when these advisors don't raise their hands, their managers will. So that's the next big part. If you do have a process, do your people know what it is? I mean, did you sit down and write it out? Did you explain it to them step by step? Did you have them initial and sign off on this is what the process is? Do you continue to talk about the process? Do you manage the process? Do you inspect the process? Is the process working? And again, do your people know what it is? Now, before I go any further, because again, most of the people believe they don't have one, and half the people that have one don't even know what it is. All right? And what's even more interesting, the few people that did have one, that did know what it is, had it wrong according to their managers. Now, before I go any further here, I want to stop and let you know about what's going on here at Pro Talk. As you can see, I've got a different set here because I am filming a ton more new content. And that's right, new content. Content I've never put on there before. Me and my trainers are out on service drives every single day of the week, writing service, standing side by side with advisors, coaching, critiquing, role-playing, like I said, writing up repair orders, showing people how to get this done. Me being in front of all types of conventions and dealers and manufacturers alike. We have discovered there's some new things that need to be told. There's new things that need to be adjusted in our process, new content, techniques, word tracks, and stuff that you need to hear. And so I have been filming a lot of content. So I've got all kinds of new programs coming out on video. Some are with our virtual training program that includes full testing. Others are things that individuals can invest in for themselves to help themselves get better. All kinds of new content. Now we deliver that content, like I said, on video, our virtual training, on DVD. We deliver that content by coming into your service drive and standing side by side with you, again, coaching, critique, and role-playing right service. We deliver that content in the world-class workshops that I myself present. Speaking of the workshops, here in just a couple weeks, I'm going to be in Toronto. Come on, Toronto, pick up the phone and call. Let's get this thing done. I'm going to be in Atlanta. I'm going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm going to be in Indianapolis, Indiana. And you got to get yourself signed up. I don't care if you're a business owner, you're a service manager, get your people signed up. Come yourself. Let me show you what I've got going on here. If you're an individual service advisor and your business owner or department head will not invest the money for you to come, invest your own. Money will not keep us apart. In any forms of this training, it's never been better. Our content's never been stronger. Our delivery's never been stronger. We will show you how to get your survey scores in the top 5% in the nation. I will show you how to get customer retention above 80% within 9 months. And I will show you how to maximize the opportunity for sales. No arm twisting, no pushing, no selling stuff that doesn't need to be done. Just pure professional salesmanship. If you're sitting there now and you don't have at least 2.5 hours per repair order, including oil changes, you're doing something wrong. If you don't have at least 80% customer retention on your service drive, you're doing something wrong. If you don't have near perfect survey scores, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, you're doing something wrong. You got a brand new customer. We've identified what this customer wants. We've identified what they need, and we will show it to you. But you have to take and do this. You have to pick up the phone and dial 1-800-248-2931. 1-800-248-2931 if you truly want to be the best you can be and maximize the opportunity. Like I say, all throughout my workshops, if you're going to be in a service center all day long, 10 hours a day, why not set yourself up to maximize the opportunity? And if you don't have the numbers I just described, as far as your results go, then you are not maximizing the opportunity, and you're not only failing for your business, or you're failing for yourself, and you're failing for your families. Let's stop that crap. Let's pick up the phone, give us a call, give me 15 minutes on the telephone, and we will show you how to maximize the results. Now, going back to what we were talking about here, like I said, I've been doing a whole series of these workshops, and we're knocking it out of the park. But I'm stunned at the number of people who don't have processes. I'm stunned at the number of people who say they have a process, but it's not what the manager says it is. I'm surprised at people who, when they have a process, don't understand what it is. So, what I ask you is do you have one? Okay, I told you it's never been more important. Do your people know what it is? And here's something else for you to consider. Maybe at one time you sat down and you wrote out a process. Maybe at one time you read it to your people. Maybe at one time you had them initial on paper and sign off and they clearly understood what it was. But over the last year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, as you've introduced new steps to your process, as you've introduced new software like multi-point inspections and tablets on the drive and software that allows people to get online and set up their own check-in times and the like, when you've added different products and stuff, have you explained to your staff where that fits in your process and how it works? Now, if you have not done that, you're failing. This is one of the things I do in my workshop. I've discovered over the years that every time I move to a new section or a new part of my workbook during the workshop, I have to go back, even though we just got through talking about the last steps, and show them that where we're talking about, where it fits in. For example, we're going to go out and we're going to greet the customer. Then we're going to thank them for coming in. And then we're going to ask them what brought them in. And then we're going to ask diagnostic questions. And then we're going to reassure the customer they're in the right place. And then we're going to start a walk around. And so when I start, for example, I get that far in the workbook, that far in the class, and I say, okay, so now we're talking about the walk around. But before we talk about the walk around, Let me share with you where this cut fits in. You're going to go out and you're going to greet the customer. You're going to thank them for coming in. You're going to ask them what brought them in. You're going to do your diagnostic questions, and then you're going to use the buy a suit technique, reassure them they're in the right place, talking to the right person, and now it's time for the walk around. And then when I go past the walk around, the next step, I'll repeat all of that and show them where each step goes in, because if you don't do that, they won't understand it. So every time you add a new piece to your process, whether it's software, whether it's a new program, whether it's a new word track, whatever, you have to go back from the very beginning and review exactly where this new thing fits in. And because if you don't, they'll just fit it in wherever they can, or they'll start taking things out of the rest of the process, because if they don't know where it fits in, they'll make it fit in. And then this kind of goes with what I was just saying right here. Are you making your instructions clear on exactly how you want this process delivered, how you want it delivered, and what results you expect to have as a minimum standard by using this process? Because again, if you've not made your instructions clear, and they don't understand exactly how to execute each part, and they don't understand the importance of each part, and they don't know what results you expect them to get by using this process, it'll never happen. I'm telling you, this to me seems like it's at a critical level right here. And in your defense as a business owner, service manager, service advisor, I think where this is coming from, if you want to use an excuse, if you're looking for one, is that over the last several years there's been so much new technology, simple things like adding a text to the process, simple things like adding an email, simple things like adding video, simple things like the MPI software programs and tablets alike. Every time you add something in, even something as simple as a new close or a new word track, every time you add something in, you have to make sure you update it, you have a meeting about it, you clearly explain why it's being added to your process, you clearly explain where it fits into your process, and you clearly explain how it's to be executed, and you clearly explain what the minimum results are that you expect for the person to get by using that. Process, process, process. Now I know that I kind of went fast here. I know I've talked about quite a few different things. If you have a question about your process, I'll tell you what I'll do. You dial 1-800-248-2931, 1-800-248-2931, and anybody that picks up that phone, here's what they'll do. You can ask them about our process. We'll explain it to you. You can share with us your process, and we will tell you whether it's good, we feel it's good or bad, and what's missing. As a matter of fact, you can send that right to me. But if you do that, give me a week or two to get back to you. But send me your process, and I'll take a look at it and tell you whether or not I think you've got one that will work or one that's not working, and if it has holes or it doesn't have holes. And we'll go from there. I've preached it, I'll repeat myself, my entire career, the entire 30 years I've been in business, 31 years I've been in business. Process is important, and it's never been more important than it is today. It's never been more important for an advisor to have a process so you can consistently deliver the same experience every time somebody comes in. It's never been more important for you as a manager to have a process for your department so your department and everybody in it can deliver consistency and the same experience every time somebody comes in. And it's never been more important as you as a business and business owner to have a process to guarantee that when people walk through that front door, it's going to be a consistent process, and you're going to be able to deliver a consistent world-class experience. If you don't have process, then you're not maximizing opportunity, and if you're going to be there, why wouldn't you do it the right way? Call me and I'll explain to you. I'll take a look at your process again and tell you whether or not yours is working, whether or not it's missing something. I'll explain to you what ours are, because I think you will like ours. Nobody beats our content. Nobody beats our process. We're the absolute best in the world. Pick up the phone. Come on. Why do you want to be one of the 80% out there that aren't maximizing the opportunity? Hey, my name is Jeff Cowan. Thank you for watching and listening this week. Here's what I want you to do between now and next week, when I'm going to come back with another really great podcast for you. I want you to go out and work with as many customers as you can. I want you to get them excited about what you do, because your process is set up to get these customers excited. I want that process to get your customers so excited that they invest in your product, a product that you will make commission on, and that commission you're going to take home to you and your significant other, your family, and you're going to live the life you so deserve. Because between now and next week, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go do some workshops, and I'm going to search for new customers, and I'm going to get them so excited about what it is that we do here at Pro Talk that they're going to invest in me, they're going to invest in my products, and I'm going to take that commission and take it home to my spouse and my family and continue to live the marvelous, unbelievable life that I have. I've worked hard, I've earned it, and I enjoy it, and you will too. See you next week.